Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every person's life when they must make a decision. Not just a decision about what career to pursue, what house to buy, or who to marry, but a decision about who they are going to become. A decision about whether they will let the world shape them or whether they will shape the world. And that decision begins not with action, not with words, but with a thought. It begins in the invisible realm of the mind. Because your mindset, your internal world, your belief system, your perspective is your biggest asset. You see, we live in a world obsessed with physical assets. Money, property, stocks, luxury, status, these are the things people chase. But what good is money in the hands of a man who doesn't believe in himself? What value does a house hold for someone who lives in fear and doubt? All the riches in the world are worthless if the person holding them lacks the mindset to use them, grow them, and protect them. Your mindset determines everything. Your income, your relationships, your health, your ability to rise after falling, your capacity to see light in darkness, your power to persist when everything around you tells you to quit. Your mindset is your lens, your compass, your engine, your fuel. It is the invisible force that separates the defeated from the victorious. It is not your talent that determines your success. It is not your background. It is not your education. It is your mindset. There are people walking this earth right now with every disadvantage you can imagine. No money, no support, no education, no connections, and they are winning. Not because they got lucky, but because they refused to believe they were cursed. They trained their mind like a warrior trains his sword. They forged beliefs of strength, power, possibility, and perseverance. And those beliefs turned into results. That's the power of mindset. Consider the stories of the greatest people to ever live. Every single one of them battled circumstances that could have destroyed them. But they made a decision. They said, I will not accept this as my final reality. That thought, that belief, was the beginning of transformation. It was their mindset that turned them into legends. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, but he said, I am not a prisoner. I am a man with a mission. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times, but he said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Oprah Winfrey was told she'd never succeed on TV, but she believed in herself and became the most powerful woman in media. What separated them? Their mindset. You have that same power within you. You were born with it. But most people give it away. They let society dictate what they can or cannot do. They let their past define their future. They let fear run the show. And in doing so, they bury their greatest asset. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the seeds of power, weeds of doubt will grow automatically. If you don't train it, it will betray you. It will lie to you. It will convince you that you are less than who you truly are. But here's the good news, you can reprogram it. Every day, you can condition your mind. You can feed it with new beliefs. You can take control of the dialogue running inside your head. You can choose thoughts of courage over fear, growth over stagnation, faith over doubt. And when you do this long enough, your mind becomes your greatest ally. It becomes your asset. Think about the most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and visionaries. They don't just work hard, they think differently. They think bigger. They think creatively. They look at failure and see feedback. They look at obstacles and see opportunity. That's not by accident. That is trained mindset. That is discipline of thought. That is years of conditioning, reading, reflecting, reframing, rewriting their internal narrative. When you shift your mindset, everything changes. The same situation you once saw as hopeless now becomes your breakthrough. The pain you once avoided becomes your fuel. The limitations you once believed become laughable. You begin to move with a different energy, a different clarity, a different authority. You walk into rooms not looking for approval but bringing value. You speak with confidence because you no longer question your worth. That's mindset. But let's be real, developing a powerful mindset is not easy. It takes work. It takes honesty. It takes consistency. You will have to face your insecurities. You will have to battle your inner critic. You will have to unlearn what society taught you and relearn the truth of who you are. You will have to separate yourself from people who keep you small. You will have to become the kind of person who doesn't wait for motivation but creates it. This is the price of greatness. And it is worth it. Because once you possess a powerful mindset, nobody can take it from you. You become unstoppable. You become unshakable. You become someone who rises no matter how many times they fall. Ask yourself right now, what thoughts am I repeating every day? Are they helping me grow, or are they holding me back? What beliefs am I carrying that no longer serve me? Who told me I wasn't good enough? Who told me I couldn't achieve something great? And why did I believe them? Because the truth is, your reality is not a reflection of your potential. It's a reflection of your mindset. Start feeding your mind like you feed your body. Read books that inspire you. Listen to voices that empower you. Write down affirmations. Visualize your future. Practice gratitude. Set goals. Celebrate your progress. Build discipline. Challenge your assumptions. Face your fears. Surround yourself with believers. And above all, protect your mind from negativity like your life depends on it, because it does. Ladies and gentlemen, never forget this. The mind is a battlefield. You are at war every day. And the enemy is doubt, fear, laziness, distraction, and negativity. You can't afford to be passive. You can't afford to wait. You have to fight for your future. You have to defend your dreams. You have to train your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. You may not control every event in your life, but you can control how you interpret it. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control what happens within you. That is your superpower. That is your edge. That is your asset. Look around you. Everything you see was created by someone who believed it was possible. Your phone, your home, your clothes, your job, your goals, your vision. It all begins in the mind. That's why your mindset is more important than your skill set. Because your mindset determines whether you even try. It determines how long you stay in the fight. It determines how much you're willing to endure to see it through. A man with a powerful mindset can take an average idea and turn it into an empire. A woman with an empowered mindset can walk into any room and lead. It's not about what you have, it's about how you think. And when you start thinking like a winner, talking like a winner, walking like a winner, you eventually become one. This is the message I leave you with today. Never underestimate the power of your mind. Train it, guard it, sharpen it, use it. Your circumstances may be tough. Your past may be painful. Your odds may be slim. But your mindset, if built right, can overcome it all. That's not just motivation, that's truth. That's fact. That's your greatest weapon. Your mindset is your biggest asset. Make it unbreakable. Make it undeniable. Make it legendary. And the world won't be able to ignore you.